Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me for yoga tonight. So for our reflection, I'm going to start with an email from the Daily Om. And this one is called Thoughts. It's about our thoughts. So our thoughts are powerful forces in the creation of our experience of life. Our only true reality is the present moment. So rather than merely accepting that life is happening to us, we can harness the power of our thoughts to create a positive reality. For example, we can choose to appreciate the beauty around us rather than focusing on traffic. That sounds familiar. Or we can look for admirable qualities in people rather than focusing on the negative. By choosing how to interpret and define each moment, you can help to create your reality. Throughout the day, we can monitor our thoughts to catch ourselves when we are investing our energy elsewhere, such as self-limiting beliefs. Instead, we can pull our focus back to the infinite possibilities of the present. Taking a deep breath will help us center our thoughts on being in our bodies right now. And slowing down and breathing enables us to quiet our thoughts, to focus on the pureness of being. If we mentally dwell in the past or the future, we may miss the experience of living in the present moment. So setting and visualizing goals is wonderful, but we can bring our thoughts into our current experience by taking steps to create them now. Our minds are powerful tools that we can use to create our reality. Each thought is like a stone dropped into a lake, sending ripples out into our world to affect everything they touch. We can choose our focus and how we invest our energy, empowering us to design our lives to be what we choose in each and every moment. So, in yoga, we have some tools to quiet our thoughts. In fact, if you look at the ancient writings of yoga, especially Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which was written 3,000 years ago, it says that yoga is the ability to calm the fluctuations of the mind. So that's what yoga is basically all about. It doesn't say that yoga is the ability to stand on your head or balance on the edge of a mountain. The ability to calm the fluctuations of our mind. So let's see what we can do during our time together. Find a comfortable seat, bring your hands in front of your legs, your lower legs, and just kind of hug in a little bit. See, let your shoulder tops soften down. See if you can feel your shoulder blades. Can you feel that backbone? Your sitting bones on the floor, and the backbone rises up from your pelvis, where your neck meets your skull, and imagine that your top of your head is going up towards the ceiling. Nice tall spine. And then let your hands relax in your lap. Notice your breath. And you feel yourself breathing in and breathing out. And you notice the feeling in your nostrils as you breathe in Can you notice that perhaps the air is a little cooler as you breathe in? Breathe out, maybe a little warmer. Let's sit with our breath a little bit longer. Let the back of your hands rest on your thighs, or perhaps on your knees. Your palms are up. Focusing on our breath. Let yourself breathe in. Notice the next time you breathe in. And as you breathe out, let your fingers start to curl in just a little bit. Breathe in, let your fingers open. Breathe out, fingers start to curl, not to a fist, but just gently. Inhale, let your fingers open. Let's do this 3 or 4 more times. Eyes may close. Notice how it feels on the inside. What's happening? Thoughts calming down. And let's do this 2 more times. Inhaling, letting the fingers open. Exhale, curling in. And 1 more time. And let your hands rest in your lap. Now we can add a little more movement. So bring your hands in front of your legs again. Let the tops of your shoulders soften. And the next time you breathe in, bring your chest forward, lean forward, lift your chin. Maybe look up to the ceiling or to the wall. As you exhale, round your back and tuck your chin in. That's it. So inhale, moving your backbone forward, and exhale, let it round and go behind. Let's do this 3 more times. One more. Sit up nice and tall. And now we're gonna bring the hands down beside you. And on the inhale, reach your arms out and up and overhead. You can look up to your hands and turn your palms away, and exhale, let your hands float back down. Let's do that 2 more times. So inhaling, reaching up, and exhaling, floating down. Last one like this. Inhale. Like the inhale is helping your arms to lift, and the exhale is helping your arms to float down. Good. Now let your right hand come out from your right hip and inhale the left arm up and overhead. Good. We're going to keep the left hip down. Let's take a couple breaths right here. Taking a bend to the right. You might want to inhale, look up at that left hand. Exhale, look down at the right. That feels good. Let's take 1 more breath. And then reach that left arm up and bring it outside your left hip. And inhale the right arm up and overhead. And let the position, the position that you're in feel beneficial in your body. So make any changes that you may need to do. Don't move into pain. Honor your body. And then if you'd like to look up on the inhale, with your right hand, and look down at the left hand as you exhale. Let's do this breath and one more. And then let that right hand come down. Come up on your fingertips. Up on your fingertips and let the tops of your shoulders soften. Just notice how that feels. Move our torso and turn it to the right. So now your left hand, your left fingertips are in front, your right fingertips are behind you. Looking to the right. See if we can take 3 more breaths here. Feel free to, if you'd like, to exhale through a little space between your lips. One more breath. Great. Keep your fingertips off the floor. Take them down so they're outside your body, outside to the right and the left. And now we're going to inhale and move the hands around. So the right fingertips are in front, the left fingertips are behind. It doesn't have to be all the way behind. It can be to the left. Find a place that feels comfortable in your body. And then let your torso turn to the left. And let's take some breaths here. And feel, like I was saying, feel free to inhale through your nose and exhale through the space between your lips. Let's take 2 more breaths. And come and face the front again. Just move the spine in its 6 directions. Forward and back, bending side and side, and turning to side and the other side. So just notice how you feel internally. Some energy moving, or maybe you're feeling a little more stable in your spine. Just notice and enjoy. Okay, let's come around to hands and knees. If your knees are tender, feel free to make a little bend in your yoga mat and kneel on that. Gives it a little cushion, or feel free to put like a folded blanket here. And then let your knees be under your hips, your hands under your shoulders. Spread your fingers and step your hands up an inch or 2. You're going to breathe up and down the spine. So inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your chin. And exhale, round your back and tuck your chin. Inhaling, feeling it move, feeling movement up your spine. One vertebra at a time. Moving with the breath. Let's do 2 more. So cat and cow. Last one like this. Okay. Now we're going to stay on hands and knees, but when we inhale, we're going to move forward. Let your shoulders move forward. And when we exhale, let your tops of your feet come down. Let your hips come towards your heels. And then inhale, move up and come a little forward. And exhale, the hips come down. And let's do that 2 more times. Now here we are in child's pose. Let's take a couple breaths in child's pose. Feel free to cross your arms, let your head rest. Notice how you're feeling. And now we're going to come back to hands and knees, but put your forearms down. So now our forearms are down. You can press your hands flat into the floor. And we're going to turn the toes under. We're going to do puppy pose. It's like a little miniature down dog. So from here, lift your knees up. Let's take a couple breaths. And then bring your knees back down. And I'm going to straighten out my legs. So if you come back down again, so we're on our forearms, our hands are flat, or you can interlace your fingers. Turn your toes under, and then top of your head comes down, and you lift your knees up. Take a couple breaths right here. Bring the world upside down. And then let your knees come down. Let's do that one more time. Take a rest first. And now what you might want to do is interlace your fingers and think of putting your head right where your hands are joined. And then lift your hips up. And you can even walk your feet up a little bit. Let's take one more breath here if it feels okay. And let your knees come down. And let's take a few breaths in child's pose. So if you'd like, you can let your knees come to the edges of your mat, your toes together. And cross your arms, let your hips come back into child's pose. Let's come back up again. So we're at hands and knees. We're going to start in hands and knees. Let the right leg come back behind you. And now from here, we're going to turn to the right. So you're going to see my back. You can swivel on your left knee. Let your right foot come down. And that right arm just wants to lift. So let it lift. Let's take some breaths right here. We take 2 more breaths. Let your right hand come down, your right knee come back. You can bring the hips back, coming into child's pose again. Noticing what's going on. And then we'll do this on the left side. So we'll come back to hands and knees. Let your left foot come back. Now we're going to turn to the left. So you can rotate on that right knee. Let your left foot come down. And that left arm just wants to lift. Wants to open. You can inhale through your nose and exhale through your lips. Let's take 2 more breaths. Let that left hand come down, knees side by side, coming back down to child's pose. And getting ready to come up to stand. Good. So, hands and knees, You can turn your toes under, start walking your hands back until you can lift your knees off the floor, walk your hands back to your feet. You can walk your hands right up your legs and come all the way up to standing. Oh, and here we are. Let's shake it out a little bit. Shake out your shoulders, your arms, your knees, your hips. All the focus we were doing, and stretching, just getting everything nice and loose. Just kind of let your arms sway side by side. Sway side to side. Push the air away in front of you to the right and to the left. Notice you can step that right foot down as you push into the right, and step the left foot down as you push to the left. Let's do that a few more times. Come up to standing. We're going to do a breathing exercise that really builds some energy inside. We're going to kind of inhale in 3 parts and then exhale with a and we're going to go, the arms will go like this. So join in when you're ready. Last one. Good. And come back up to standing. And let's interlace the arms, or let's bring the arms up and overhead. Interlace your fingers and let your palms face up. Your feet on the floor. We're going to move to the right and to the left with our breath. So let's inhale nice and tall and exhale over to the right. And then inhale, come up nice and tall. Exhale to the left. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale. Inhale up. Let's do that one more time. And then let your arms flow down. Check on everything. Okay. And now we're standing nice and tall. We're going to come into our chair pose. So let's inhale the arms up and overhead. And then exhale your arms around. Come into chair. So you bend your knees and your hips. Your hands come forward. And then inhale, lifting up. You can even look up to your hands and then exhale, bringing arms down and around, hips back to chair. Inhale up, exhale. Let's do this one more time. Stay in chair pose as we wiggle your right fingertips. We're going to inhale and then exhale. Let that right hand come back behind you. Follow it with your eyes. And inhale as it comes up. And then the left fingertips. We're going to exhale. Let the left hand come down behind you. And inhale back up. Let's do that 2 more times. Right arm coming down. Inhale up. Left arm coming down. Inhale up. This is the last time. You might even feel that in your lower body that strengthens the legs, the hips, the thighs. Good. All right, let's take a time for standing stillness. So stand with your ankles under your knees, under the front of your hips. Lift and spread your toes. then let your toes come back down. So this, if you can, like there's a space between your toes, if that works. And then lift the front of your body from right above your knees. Think of lifting, 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 lifting your chest. Lift your shoulders and then let your shoulder blades come on your back. The tops of your shoulders soften. And your arms come by your sides. Your toes soften, your fingertips soften. Your eyes might close and notice if there's any movement, side to side, forward to back. Just breathe until the stillness. You can get to the point where the movement ceases. Feel still. Core muscles are lifted. Chest is lifted. Feel nice and still. Let's see if we can do our balance. So shift your weight into your left leg, left side of your body. I like to put my hands together because it kind of brings the energy central up on your right toes. Let's see if you can either bring your right foot to your left ankle, bring it to the inside of that left leg. Whatever happens, keep your breath nice and steady. Ready to bring that right leg down, please do so. Now shift your weight into that right leg, the right side of your body. Come up onto your left toes. You can stay right here. With your toes on the floor, you can stay, you can let your ankle, left ankle come to right ankle, toes on the floor. Lift that left foot up. Place that feels beneficial to you. And breathe. Balance might be different every day, but when we practice, we're building those balance reactions in our body, in our mind. Then let both of your legs come down. All right, we're going to face the short end of the mat. We're going to build up a warrior one. So let your right foot be in front and step your left leg back a comfortable distance, and your left toes can turn out towards the left corner of your mat. And bring your right hand to your waist. Good. Now you're facing the right foot. And as we inhale, bend the right knee and lift the left arm. And exhale, arm comes down and knee straightens. Let's do that 2 more times. So inhaling and exhale. 1 more time. Right and left sides are each doing something different. Good. And now this time, let your right arm come down. And as we bend the right knee, both arms are going to come overhead. And let's stay in our warrior pose. Arms are overhead, spread your fingers. Right knee is bent. And feel perhaps like your legs could come together underneath you. Breaths. And reach your arms forward. And then exhale, pull them in, bending your elbows, straightening that knee. Inhale, reach your arms forward, bending the knee. Exhale, pull it in. Do that 2 more times. Now, inhale, reach your arms forward with the knee bent. And as we inhale, we're going to open the left arm, and the left foot will open up too. And then exhale, bring the hands side by side. And then inhale, let the left arm sweep open. You can keep your left toes pointed towards the long end of your mat. Exhale, bring the hands side by side. Good. Inhale, opening the left arm. So bringing it back, let's do that one more time. And then straighten the step so that both of the toes are facing the long end of your mat. And we're going to just bend the left knee, right knee, just kind of letting your hips go side to side. Kind of folding over, you're folding from the hips, you're letting your knees bend. Now let's get the shoulders in. So as you bend your right knee, let your left elbow come forward. And the left knee, let your right elbow come forward. And when you're letting your elbow come forward, you're also letting your shoulder come forward. See that? Wrist. Let's do right and left one more time. Just stand. Oh. All right. We're going to do the left foot. So let your left foot come forward. Your right foot is behind and is facing the corner of your mat. And let your left hand come to your waist. Standing nice and tall. And we inhale, and we're going to bend the left knee, let the right arm come up. And exhale, lower the arms, straighten them. 2 more times. Let your left arm come down. This time, we're going to bend the left knee and reach both arms overhead. Spread your fingers. Find that warrior pose. Feel your legs underneath you, supporting you. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through that little space between your lips. 2 more breaths here. Good. Reach the arms forward. And then exhale, bring the elbows back and straighten that left knee. And inhale, forward, bending the knee. Exhale, drawing it in. Let's do that 2 more times. Good. Now, for the next one, when we move our right arm out, you're going to see my back again, but let your right foot kind of face the long end of the mat. I'm going to bend the left leg and bring the left knee and bring your arms out in front of you to the left. And then inhale, let your right arm come across. Exhale, bring that right arm back in line with the left. Do that 2 more times. So inhale, opening. 1 more time. Reaching across. And then step your feet together. And shake it out again. And we're going to make our way to the floor. So let's inhale the arms up and overhead. And exhale, soften your knees, soften your hips, let your arms point to the floor. Inhale, come halfway up and look forward. And then exhale, bring your hands down, and legs down, and come down to sit. Oh. So we're going to have your knees bent with your feet going to the right. And you can stay like this, or if you'd like, you can let your right knee come up and your right foot come to the floor. And then we're going to turn to the left. So if you're like this, your right hand can come to your left knee. If you've got your right knee up, you can kind of wrap your hand around that leg. Find that rotation in your spine. And then let your chin turn to the right. So your chin is looking over your right shoulder. So whether your knee is up or it's down next to the left, finding that opening across the collarbones. Let's take 3 more breaths. Stay like this. Now let your chin over to the left, over your shoulders, and then face the front, the long end of your mat. We're going to lift the knees, lift up, let your knees bend, your feet going to the left. Stay like this. Left hand to your right knee, or if you'd like to bring that left foot down, at left leg, and then take a turn to the right. Your shoulders, chest is turning to the right, and then let your chin turn to the left and look over your left shoulder. Let's take 2 more breaths. Just find be nice and tall. Your chin back to the right, over your shoulders, face the front. And then when you're ready, you're going to come and lie down on your back. Take a pause. Notice how you feel. Your time. And make your way to lying down on your back. And take a moment. Feel that sensation of being solid on the ground. And the earth underneath you. The mat, the floor, whatever it might be. Now we're going to stretch on the right side. So let your right toes point up to the ceiling, reach your right arm back. Let your left side soften, and then reach your right leg in back, or in front of you, your right arm back behind you. So you're reaching on that right side, straight up and down. Take 1 more breath here. Bring the right arm down, let that right side relax. In fact, take a pause and notice right side and left side. Now we're going to let the left toes point to the ceiling, left arm come back. Let your left leg extend forward, your left arm extend backwards. So making space on that left side. 2 more breaths. And then release, let your arm come down, your leg come down. do a couple rounds of bridge pose. So bend your knees, walk your feet back towards your hips. Your arms are by your side, but when we lift, we're going to lift one arm at a time, back overhead. And that's an option. You can keep your arms right where they are. So it's all up to you. When you're ready, feel like you could notice your lower back. If we stay right here, if you roll your pelvis towards your legs, notice that there's a space. You can put your hand there, in the lower back. And then if we roll the pelvis away, kind of towards your face, the space disappears. That lower back is on the floor. So let's start with a little space. And then we're going to roll it back so that lower back's on the floor, and then lifting, and then lift your right arm overhead. And then exhale, roll back down, and let your right arm come down. Roll up, let your left arm come overhead. Roll the spine down, letting your left arm come down. Let's do that 2 more complete times. So, exhaling. Down. Inhale, lifting the left arm overhead. Exhale. Down and up. One more time. Each arm gets a chance. Lift overhead. Or if you're not using your arms, this is still the last one. Let's come down. And now lift your feet off the floor and hug your knees in and let yourself roll side to side. This might feel very good. Using the lower back. So it's a relief to the lower back. Let your legs go side to side. You can make circles. Your knees. And then circle the other direction. Let your feet come to the floor with your knees bent. And you're going to walk your feet to the edges of your mat. Your arms can come out to the side. And inhale. And on your exhale, let your right knee come in towards the center. Take a couple breaths here. Stretching the top of the thigh, stretching the hip, the outside of the hip. And then inhale and bring that right knee back up. Inhale, and on your exhale, let your left knee come in towards the center. Take a couple breaths here. Inhale, and lift it up. Cool. Now, can we move with our breath? What I mean is we're going to inhale right here. Exhale, let the right knee come down to the center. And inhale, lift it up. Exhale, let the left knee come to the center. Inhale, lift it up. And let's do that 2 more times. One last round. Now, put your feet come together and your knees out to the sides. Hands are resting with the palms up. Just rest here. 5 or 6 breaths. coming up on our final relaxations, starting to let things soften. Letting go. Few more stops along the way. So bring your hands outside your thighs and let your hands help your knees come together. Good. The reason that we do that I like to do that, is because you can overstretch. You don't want to overstretch the inner thigh. So let the hands help. Get the feet off the floor. Your knees are bent. Your legs are together. Arms out to the side. You can inhale, and on your exhale, let both of your legs roll to the right. And let's stay here for about 4 or 5 breaths. Feel free to straighten your legs, whatever feels comfortable. Right, get that right leg on the floor if you can, or if you have a blanket. Somewhere, let both of your legs in a place where they can soften. Not work. If it feels comfortable, you can look over your left shoulder. Just let your head turn to the left. Eyes might be closed. Let's take 3 more breaths. Now, press your hands down. You want to roll onto your back again. And let's start once again with your knees bent. Your knees are over your hips. Arms out to the sides. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, bring both of your legs to the left. Find a position that feels beneficial to you, that feels good in your body. Maybe looking to the right, maybe not. The way your body feels right now. Let's take 4 more breaths here. Let yourself soften. And help yourself to roll onto your back. Let your feet come to the floor. Let your legs straighten so that your legs are mat width apart. Arms by your sides with your palms up. Guide you through a relaxation. So notice the parts of you supported by your mat, supported by the floor. Make yourself soften. Letting go. Back of your head, the back of your shoulders, and your back. Your hips, back of your legs, everything. Your awareness of the muscles in your face, the muscles in your jaw, muscles around your lips that you use to smile. These muscles soft. Space between your eyes. Awareness to your right shoulder and upper arm, elbow, right arm, wrist, and hand. Right arm soft. Awareness to your left shoulder, upper arm, elbow. Lower left arm. So soft. Awareness to your back into your right hip, thigh, and lower right leg. Foot. Right leg. Soften, light, take rest. Awareness to your left hip, thigh, knee, lower left leg. Left leg, soft and light. Whole body. Take rest if there's any place it's holding on to tension. And your awareness and your breath. Exhale. Yourself take rest. It's few minutes. Let everything go. Begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. So notice lifting as you breathe in, expansion as you breathe out. your breath. And find some movement in your toes and your fingers. Just let your head slowly turn to the right, let your face turn to the right. Slowly turn to the left. Moving slowly, when you're ready, reach your arms overhead, back overhead. Take an inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Ah. Let's do that again. So we're going to take a deep inhale. And then taking your time, moving nice and slowly, bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. So feel free to roll over on to one side, bend your knees, press your hands down, take your time. Back up to a comfortable seat. And we'll bring a close to our practice today. So when our thoughts interfering, becoming worries or regrets, tune into our breath. Here's another way of finding the breath. Take your hands, put your hands over your ears. See if you can hear yourself breathing. Bring your palms together. Bring your thumbs to your chest. And then lift your elbows a little bit. Look down at your fingers. You can feel your exhales on your fingers. A little bit of warm air. Tuning inward to find that inward calmness, that inward stillness, and that inward strength. Let your palms come together in front of your heart. The spirit in me honors the spirit in each of you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. Have a good rest of your day, rest of your week. And may the tools of yoga become part of what you can use to improve your own well-being and find joy in the world.